youth today are exposed. Actually, they are extremely exposed.
Yes.
You don't need to travel because with technology, you have the world
On your hand.
on your hand. And I think the danger you guys face today is not like in our time where we had, you see, someone will have knowledge, information, and you'll be looking at them like, wow, how do they get to know this? But the fast forward, you guys are actually more knowledgeable. You have a lot of information. Now, how do you sieve that knowledge to get what is relevant for you? Now, in the process of having so much knowledge, so much information, sometimes you are forceful, too forceful to want to make change overnight. And reality in life on ground is different. So I think humbling yourself down and taking an approach of showcasing some solutions will make these elders start looking at you seriously. And you're a good example. For instance, I was talking to Monty the other day.
Yeah.
I met some executive at Hyatt where like we expected this to be very high level conversation, but this is the middle young entrepreneurs. But the fact that you are able to pull that, bring Vosi, have those conversations, impact thousands and hundreds of fellow young men and women, somewhere you have put a mark in this country that there are Gen Z somewhere doing something amazing. So you are bringing your fellow youth to the standard, to the map, the national radar.
Yes.
That these guys are daring, they can do this. So with time, they will start now engaging you and believing you. So I'll say I think it is more of the approach of showing more than telling. You know, when you tell, I interact with the youth, my daughter sometimes, she's been like, you know, you guys, you don't understand us. Make us understand you. Do you guys understand us? So we don't understand each other. So can we humble ourselves down and listen more, and also be able, as a Gen Z, be able to come to a conversation with an open mind.
Okay.
As opposed to if you come with your ideas, you want it to remain that way because you are exposed.
Yes.
Be willing to bring reality into the picture.
Yes.
And what gives the elders that comfort of doing that, because they've been there, they've done that, and the world is not that friendly at times. Yeah.
So, talking about the media, you know, some people say the media is a weapon to shape the narratives of people in the society. And some people think that it's just a place where they can go and get informed. And I've seen some trends, you know, like most wealthy people, they have their own medias. The likes of, you can see Jeff Bezos has Wall Street Journal, and right now Elon Musk has one of the largest medias, X. So what are the secrets of the media? Like, how important is the media?
The media is extremely important.
Yeah.
The media is extremely important. You know, they say in leadership, one key quality is communication. In whatever you're doing, if you have a vision, if it's not translated to the last person in the organization, you'll struggle living that vision. So media are channels for communication. So yes, some people use it for just information, and the information, there are different types of information. Information to just keep you aware of your surroundings, information that will bring you opportunities, information you can use to make decisions and what have you. Now, to have control of your narrative, either you have media or you are making appealing content or information, or giving appealing information, so that even if you don't own a media house or whatever, or outlet, people will get to hear your thought, people get to hear. So I don't necessarily believe that everyone must own media. I think those who come to own media, at times they get into it because they are seeing business side of it. The likes of Jeff Bezos, I don't think he bought Washington Post just to amplify his image globally. No, because he was looking at, now how do I make more impact? Because from where he sits, I mean, he get those publicities and what have you. Likewise, Elon Musk, he saw an opportunity, and the danger of getting into a business of media, and if you want to use it to elevate yourself, people run away from that platform, because good media business is the one that is independent. It has to be seen, it has to be perceived to be independent, so that you attract all kind of listeners, viewers, and followers. Yeah. So it's yes, no, but there are those who actually, you all remember the story of Murdoch.
Ben Madoff.
But Murdoch. Yeah. So you see, he's still powerful. He was so powerful. You remember News of the Day, News of the World, was tapping phones from celebrities, from government officials, and that is how they are making their story. But when that unethical thing was put to the open, they had to shut that paper, and then a lot of change had to happen. So sometimes if you have own a media house, people expect you to hold yourself in a more transparent way. You become more ethical, as opposed to using those to encroach into privacy of other people. And that kills the whole essence of independent media. Yeah.
You talked about the importance of communication, and that actually, even our previous guest, the Turkish ambassador, he also insisted on being able to communicate your message. And you also said that you used to write a lot in your life story. So I want to know, like, what the difference, like, how do you know how to write? What makes something that you wrote a hit piece? Can you take us through that process, please?
Wow, that's a difficult one. When I'm writing, I don't get to know if it is going to be a hit piece, but my style of writing is a bit lazy. Every time I'm writing, I read it, and then I put myself in the shoes of who will be reading this article, and I see there's a question which is not answered. So I'll go research about that information. So I take too long to write a simple piece.
Okay.
It can take a week, a month. I was doing this. I met with
Yes, I remember.
the other day. I
Yeah.
started writing it the same day, packed it. I've been writing it. It's been 3 weeks just to write a small piece, editing. So sometimes it takes me too long to write a piece because I want to connect all the relevant dots. That's one way of what I do. The other thing is just appreciating the fact that how human beings consume information. I used to do long presentation and I do good slides, but then there will be hard-hitting facts. And there are sometimes you see the entire audience is out there wondering, they are not with you. So it's time you get to learn the art of storytelling. People listen more, people consume information when they see something relating to them or something relating to something they heard. So the storytelling now comes in the sense that you write your article by bringing live example, by telling specific stories, simple stories, or just a narrative or a situation. You talk about it and then you relate with it, and then you keep changing from one aspect, one character to another. So when I'm writing an article, I normally don't want to focus on one aspect. I might introduce 2 or 3 different aspects.
Okay.
So if I go, I pack this, I go, and then in the end you bring it all together from the headline you had, and then you come together in a way of concluding. So that's the approach I normally do, but it doesn't make me write more. I admire those people. I know a friend of mine, Peter Nyanje can write an opinion in a matter of minutes, hours. He's done it. So I'm not gifted that way. So I take a long time to do that. Yeah.
I want to take you back to the media part. You're discussing Elon Musk owning a media, Jeff Bezos owning a media. So I've personally recently started a media. And this is a question for myself and maybe future media owners.
Yeah.
What are some advice and tips that you could give us that could help transform or take our media companies to the next level? As you can see, digital transformation is crucial right now. There's a lot of we're going into a digital world. What advice or tips do you have for us?
I think for the time I've been in the media sector, I've seen a couple of patterns changing. First, it was a one-way traffic. You in the newsrooms, you have access to information, you have access to newsmakers, and you'll give it to your audience. And there had no alternative but to take it.
Yes.
We had days when we had Business Times. Our Swahili paper was called Majira. If there's an accident between Dar es Salaam and Morogoro, we will increase print order.
Okay.
And that paper will sell. There will be no returns.
Okay.
Now, why was that the case? Because people want to know if I know someone who was in that bus. They want to know about their loved ones.
Yes.
Fast forward today, you do that kind of story, you'll have all piles of your newspaper coming back and sold because people are getting that information through social media.
Yeah.
So first, information was a kind of privilege to newsmakers and the news media. But now, and that made it one-way traffic. But now with social media, with the technology, they want you to cover what they need for them to buy your content. So now it has become a two-way traffic. Editors and journalists don't have that monopoly of determining what you should consume, whether you like it or not. Consumers have the ability of forcing you to give them what, and if you don't, they leave you. Number two, it used to be one size fits all. If it's politics, everyone will consume politics.
Okay.
So we had some sort of an homogeneous market or society, so to speak, because we are feeding them and everyone will be consuming. Fast forward today, with all these options, gone are the days where you will expect to force people to read either business or politics. Now, there are those who want to read about entertainment, business, and then business, I want just banking. In agriculture, I want commercial farming, etc., etc. So what that has brought is the heterogeneity of consumers has created a new opportunity for business, for media business, to study about different communities, and instead of serving the entire country market, you pick a community and serve that community with the relevant information they need.
Okay.
So media is now becoming clusters of interest, as opposed to if I do Mwananchi and just politics, there are those who will want. So that's why you see even with the Mwananchi communications, we've been transforming year after year. You look into our papers, there are different segments within that same newspaper.
Yes.
So if you pick it, in a family, everyone might get their section where they have interest from. So those are communities. So if there is any advice or insight I would talk about is just know your customers, know what information they are looking for, and pick a community. You can't do one size fit all anymore. So you and nowadays it's not even doing it by following the demographic that these are the youth aged between here and here, and this is how they consume. No, it's actually becoming more behavioral. It's moved from demographic. Now it's behavioral. What do I want to associate with? What values do I hold dear to me? And if you don't match my values, I'm not going to consume your content. So it's becoming so sophisticated, and I think there's opportunity for everyone as long as you pick your niche and serve it well.
When I was young, I used to read a lot of newspapers because when I go to school, I passed by the newsstands, and whenever I saw those kind of headings in the newspaper, they always intrigued me to buy the newspaper and read more inside. So what makes a good headline?
Yeah, a good headline has to be short, has to be precise, says what is in that story, but also excites you, kind of live with the suspense of wanting to know what is inside. So it's so it's a very, very trick situation when you see the headlines in the papers tomorrow or on the street, sometimes people don't know that headline took like 30 minutes or an hour to be written to fit in that space and they carry that meaning. Sometimes the whole day you've been thinking about how do I present this in a concise way. So sometimes when I'm the editor, you look at, this is the theme. Today is budget day. So we've seen from the planning presentation speech, this is the approach the government has taken.
Yes.
So you talk to people of their expectation, and you might start creating an headline, and you tell the team, this is going to be our story. Now we have to find facts and figures to talk to this. This is the message. So it's you can't do it at the end, but also it can be the pulling effect of what kind of story do you want to write.
So that can be applied to our podcast too. So if
Yeah.
I'm understanding correctly, is today I'm hosting Mr. Bakari.
Yeah.
Before I've even hosted him,
Yeah.
I could already think of a headline
Yeah.
that will excite people to watch the podcast.
Yeah.
So I should spend a lot of time to think of that headline, because that's, so does that determine
Sure.
if the newspaper is going to be sold or not?
Yeah, and that will shape the conversation, and you would have thought of what do you see as a problem or a challenge from this, from your audience. What will your audience want to hear coming from this person, coming from this sector?
Okay.
And their pain point can make you create that headline. And today we are going to be talking about this, and you go around it until you get to the bottom of it.